Tears of the Kingdom releases in 2 months, and so far, over the course of nearly 5 years, we've only gotten 4 trailers, each of which hardly showing anything in the game. Many are desperate to see more, and others take this to mean that there is nothing else to see. But at this point, I think Nintendo's already shown too much. And here's why. I want to start out by explaining why I believe there is more. Far more to come in Tears of the Kingdom than what we've already seen. We received our first trailer in June 2019. That was 2 years after Breath of the Wild released and more than a year after the DLC was finished. That could mean at that point Tears of the Kingdom had been in development for a year, and at this point it's now in its 6th year of development. Given Breath of the Wild began development right after Skyward Sword, that would put it at 6 years of development. So that means Tears of the Kingdom has been in development as long, if not longer, than Breath of the Wild, and that is with the world and backbone Breath of the Wild already made. Although the great illness of 2020 certainly did cut into that time, this still puts Tears of the Kingdom at one of the longest development periods for a Zelda game. With that, you can surely assume the amount of effort and detail put into every aspect of the game to make it as good as possible. Despite this, all Nintendo has ever shown of the game is flashes of skydiving, running in fields, and long cinematic shots. Nintendo hasn't even shown the UI of the game yet. And honestly, I don't want them to. Over the course of each Zelda game, and in fact most games, when they reveal the game, they show numerous things about the story, gameplay, and world. As a sequel, Tears of the Kingdom doesn't quite need to show the gameplay or world, as that's practically what Breath of the Wild is all about. As we're getting info on Tears of the Kingdom, they aren't showing the gameplay, they're obscuring what we can see of the world, and the story is completely left to the imagination. When the first trailer for Tears of the Kingdom was shown, I vowed myself to avoid looking deep into the trailers and possibly avoiding them entirely. But now, I believe I should do the opposite. As I stated, after 5 years, they've only shown 4 trailers. I believe this means they're being very deliberate with what they show us. There are things I absolutely regret seeing, especially in that last trailer. I wish I didn't see the Redead creature, I wish I didn't see the Gleeok, and I definitely wish I didn't see that beautifully large bokoblin. But because I have seen all these, I hope that means there is even more incredible things they're hiding. Now, I hate to admit this, but I have seen the art book, and I won't be showing it here because I don't want a trained Nintendo sniper on me, but even in the art book there isn't much shown. Now that certainly could mean that this is all there is, but I'd like to think of it like this. People who buy the collector's edition will likely look through the art book before even playing the game, so why would Nintendo want to ruin the game for the people who paid most to play it? I believe Nintendo limited what they put in the art books just the same as what they limit putting in the trailers. In fact, I heard that Tears of the Kingdom won't even be appearing at PAX East, which, as far as I know, is the only large event happening between now and May 12th, the release. Nintendo is hiding some spicy details about the game from us, and I'm so glad they are. By the release of Breath of the Wild, Nintendo had already shown much of the world, bosses, and story. By doing so, it made the experience of playing Breath of the Wild, albeit still amazing, just a little more lacking, as pieces of nearly every memory was shown in this Switch presentation trailer. The experiences of playing Breath of the Wild for the first time was something impossible to forget, but it's also an experience you'll never get back. When Breath of the Wild was being revealed, they seemingly left nothing off the table to show. I truly believe this made the experience of playing the game weaker, as there were many details we were aware of. If I could go back to March 3rd and do a completely blind playthrough of Breath of the Wild, I absolutely would. Imagine stumbling across a Hinox for the first time without ever having seen any trailers, or discovering the Master Sword deep in the Lost Woods. These are experiences we will never have. And now, imagine whatever you may about Tears of the Kingdom. At this point, if you've seen the trailers, we do know of the Redeads and Gleeoks, the three-headed dragon, but we know nothing of the Lomai, the cause of these Sky Islands, or even who the person we all assume Ganondorf is. Is he a resurrected Ganondorf from the child or adult timelines? Or is he just a random guy wearing Gerudo clothes named something dumb like Bill? I truly pray that we won't know that until maybe even halfway through the game. All I know is that we don't know yet, and I want it to stay that way. We have 56 days left, and I want those days to feel like absolute hell waiting for more and more without anything. Is it bad for the marketing of the game? Or is all this secrecy going to help? Well, that's a question for another time. Until then, I hope you stick around with me so we can find out together. And while you're at it, maybe you can check out some of my other videos. I'd recommend the argument on why Tears of the Kingdom being $70 might not be the worst thing. And before you burn me in the comments, just watch the full video first to see my entire perspective. And for this video, I want you to tell me how you feel about this subject and if you agree or disagree with me. I hope to see you next week. Until then, bye-bye! You know something that'd be funny? If Robbie just, died between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That's all.